Hi, I'm Roseanne. I'm a Master Gardener volunteer of the North Country Master Gardener Volunteer Association. I am here with Mini Master Gardener Viv, and we are continuing on our story about our pie pumpkin. We are in the Spooner Agricultural Research Teaching and Display Gardens right now, and we are going to talk to you about what we need to do before we plant our pie pumpkins. Viv and I planted them on May 8th, and today is May 29th. So they've been germinating and growing for 21 days in our sun porch. And we're going to talk about what we need to do to feed our plants. And to do that, we're going to need to make compost. Now, compost has four different parts to it. Compost needs to have green things such as grass, such as our kitchen scraps. We can put in like banana peels, oranges, carrot peels, any kind of kitchen waste. We also need brown stuff, and the green stuff is going to give our plants nitrogen. The brown stuff is going to give our plants carbon. Now this will be some old leaves. We have some old straw in here. You could put in shredded paper in here. There are many things that could go into either one of these two components, and with that, and you will have a detailed listing at the end of this film. We also need to have air, and you'll notice with our compost bin, there are all kinds of little tiny holes in here, and I have the front bin open right now just to show you how you would get the compost out once it's finished, and it needs water. So we need green stuff, we need brown stuff, we need air, we need water. And Viv is going to start working on it. We also have a recipe. And so we have a book that we use for kids in the garden called Compost Stew. And one of the little catchy phrases to it is, put it in the pot and let it all rot and let's make compost stew. So Viv, we're gonna do that now. I need you to take 2 handfuls of this and throw it in there, and then one more. And then take 1 handful of the green stuff and throw that in there. I'm going to put one of these banana peels in there, and I'll put an orange peel in. And then if you will add some water, that's all right, just add some water. Just pour some water on it. The water is very important. When compost doesn't work, it's often because you don't have enough water. That's enough now, and now you're going to mix it up. And we're just using a long garden tool so that Viv doesn't have to crawl in there or anything. You can make this really easy. Now, if you have a small place and you don't have room for a big compost bin like this, you can make a plastic bin. Just drill some holes in the bottom, the sides, and the top so that you'll get your air in, and you could just keep it in your garage. Compost, when it's first being made, may have a bit of a smell to it, but when it's done, it will not smell. It will not stink. This looks great. You did a nice job of mixing. That's okay. We'll just leave that now. And we're going to just close this temporarily. Yeah, and you can just leave that out there. And we're going to walk over now and look at how our pumpkins look that we planted on May 8th. Here are our pumpkin plants. And Viv, do you want to come on over here? You can just lay that down, your tool. These are the pumpkins that Viv planted. And remember, they're in our paper pots. And I wanted to show you what finished compost looks like. It's very rich and kind of just breaks apart really easily. There might be a few little pieces of wood in here. That just keeps it aerated, but it doesn't smell at all. So if I smell it, it just smells like good earth. You want to smell it? See, and it doesn't stink at all. And now we're going to get ready, and we're going to put some compost in with our dirt. And the only thing we have to do, we got to keep them a foot apart, so I brought a ruler to show that. And the only thing we need to do is we need to take our tape off the bottom of our paper pots, because our paper pots will disintegrate into the ground, but our tape will not. So we're going to throw our tape out. So when we do this, Viv, you can kind of step up in here. And we're going to dig a hole. Alright. And then we're going to take a little handful of our compost and put that in there because that's the food for our plant. We want that in our soil. And this one doesn't even have tape on it. So this one can go a little bit deeper. There. That looks pretty good. Why don't you put your pot in there and see if it looks deep enough? Because that's how I knew mine wasn't quite deep enough. Then we're going to put some compost all around the side of it so that when it rains, that will... Yes, that looks very good. Now, did you put a little compost in the bottom? You might want to make that a little bit deeper. Just a little bit deeper.
Where should I put the tape?
I'll put that here in the container. And I just use this, and I can help you with it if you're having trouble digging, because this dirt is kind of hard. All right. Why don't you put 1 handful of compost in there? There you go. And then we're going to kind of just dig it around so that it doesn't overwhelm it, and we can't have it too deep again or too shallow. And now why don't you put your plant in there? And then you can form your dirt all around it. Just be sure we don't knock our leaves over. And look how well her leaves have grown out. They're growing so nice. And then why don't you take some compost and kind of sprinkle it around the side, because that'll give it a little food dressing. And that's all there is to it. The next time that we come to view, we are going to be harvesting our pie pumpkin, and then we will decide at that time what kind of a pie we're going to make. Thank you for visiting. We really appreciate you coming. Want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Bye.